We have to be strong. For the team. For every mutant still out there.
Did you catch the jaw-dropping surprises in the season finale of X-Men 97?
In each other.
The X-Men found themselves in different times, some in ancient Egypt or somewhere in the future, while Forge and a few others stayed in the present. They faced a big job, building a new team of X-Men. In his workshop, Forge looked at pictures of mutants who could join the new X-Men. Then, Bishop returned from the future to tell Forge that the X-Men weren't dead. They had been pulled into the time stream, and saving them was crucial for the future. Before Bishop showed up, Forge listened to a radio broadcast that told about the new situation 6 months after the X-Men disappeared. On the political side, President Robert Kelly was being challenged by Graydon Creed, an anti-mutant candidate. Graydon Creed Jr. leads the Friends of Humanity, FOH, a group that hates mutants. Even though he's human, Graydon is the son of Sabretooth and Mystique from a random meeting between them. Graydon tried to hide his past but couldn't hide his anger, which he directed toward his parents and all the mutants. In X-Men the Animated Series, Graydon Creed first backed Senator Robert Kelly, who shared his anti-mutant views. But when the X-Men defeated Bolivar Trask and Master Mold, Kelly changed his mind about mutants, causing a split between him and Graydon Creed. Throughout the seasons of X-Men TAS, Creed kept threatening the X-Men and mutants. He got tricked by Apocalypse into blaming mutants for a virus that nearly destroyed Bishop's future. Luckily, Bishop fixed things. The X-Men snuck into the Friends of Humanity and eventually revealed Creed's mutant parents to the group, which made him have a breakdown. After getting out of the institution, Creed went after his own family. He kidnapped Mystique and fought his siblings, Rogue and Nightcrawler. By the end of the series, the FOH kicked Creed out and left him at Sabretooth's place, where Sabretooth seemed ready to punish his son in a scary way. If Graydon Creed Jr. is back, it suggests a lot about what happened with Sabretooth, and it raises new questions about what Graydon plans to do with his new anti-mutant feeling in the world, even though real-life politics might have set the path already. X-Men 97 finished its first season on Disney+, and a lot has changed after the final showdown with Bastion. Operation Zero Tolerance was stopped, saving the world from destruction, but the X-Men themselves are missing and thought to be dead. And while the world tries to recover, a new conflict is brewing in both the distant past and the far future of the Marvel Universe. Feeling lost about where Season 2 of the series is going, things look pretty bad for humanity in the finale. Even though Professor Xavier takes control of Magneto's mind and makes him reverse the damage from the EMP attack, humanity still faces extinction because Bastion turns Asteroid M into a giant weapon. Now, instead of saving humanity, Bastion wants to wipe it out, taking a cue from Ultron's playbook in the Avengers movie from 2015. Bastion himself meets his end, rejecting Cyclops' act of kindness and getting sucked into the black hole made by Asteroid M's damaged core. But just in time, Magneto wakes up and prevents Asteroid M from crashing down, sparing humanity from the fate of the dinosaurs, only for it to explode when it returns to the surface. Magneto and the X-Men are thought to be dead. This last-minute rescue sets the stage for human-mutant relations in Season 2. Even though Bastion tarnished the X-Men's reputation and revealed the truth about Xavier's supposed death, world leaders now witness the X-Men and Magneto saving them from certain destruction. Anti-mutant fear is still high, but humans are also reminded that the X-Men are willing to risk their lives to protect even those who hate them. The issue is, there are no X-Men to carry on Xavier's dream. Forge aims to fix that, and he's getting unexpected help from Bishop, who comes back from the future with surprising news. In the last scenes of episode 10, we find out that Magneto and the X-Men didn't die when Asteroid M blew up. Instead, they were pulled through time. Most of them ended up 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. Cyclops and Jeanie Grey, on the other hand, landed 2,000 years in the future. Why did the X-Men time travel? One idea is that someone powerful in the Marvel Universe saved them. Maybe a big Marvel character wanted to keep the X-Men safe and needed them to fix things in the distant past and future. Maybe it was the Watcher? However, it's more likely that this time travel rescue was just a lucky accident. Earlier in the finale, we see Bastion absorb Cable's techno-organic arm into his body. The arm still has Cable's time band when it's absorbed, suggesting that Bastion got its time travel ability. So when Bastion gets destroyed in Asteroid M's core, his body might tear open time holes that pull in the X-Men and Magneto. It's also worth noting that this means Cable is stuck in the present for now. This could set the stage for Cable to lead the creation of X-Force, a tougher version of the X-Men. That could be a storyline in Season 2, with Cable trying to fill a gap left by the X-Men. Magneto and a group of X-Men, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Beast, and Xavier, get thrown back in time, ending up in Egypt around 3000 BC. There they meet a warrior fighting off several enemies. After saving him, they find out his name, and Sabat Nur. Comic book fans will recognize this character as a young Apocalypse. The first name, and Sabanur, roughly means the first one, showing that this ancient guy is one of the world's very first mutants. Apocalypse was the big bad guy in lots of important stories in the original X-Men, the animated series, but that didn't show really dig into where he came from. It looks like X-Men 97 is going to change that. At the end of the Egypt scene, we see a huge and strangely futuristic temple in the background. In the comics, Apocalypse's backstory has him fighting against Pharaoh Ramatut, a time traveler who uses his fancy tech to rule over the ancient Egyptians. Apocalypse eventually kicks Ramatut out of the past and takes over that tech for himself, becoming the super powerful mutant tyrant we all know today. On a side note, it's worth mentioning that Ramatut is one of the many faces of Kang the Conqueror. Another identity, Immortus, made a quick appearance in Season 4 of X-Men the Animated Series. It looks like we're going to witness the showdown between Apocalypse and Ramatut in Season 2, but this time, the X-Men are teaming up with Sabanur. How will that shake things up? Could the X-Men change Apocalypse's fate and stop him from becoming the villain we know in the 20th century? While some of the X-Men end up way back in the past, Cyclops and Jean Grey find themselves in the year 3060 AD. There they meet a group called Clan Ascani, led by the mysterious Mother Ascani. Mother Ascani's true identity is a big surprise, but we won't spoil it here. For now, what's important is that Scott and Jean meet a younger version of Nathan Summers face to face. Clan Ascani are the ones who saved baby Nathan when he got lost in time and raised him to be a time-traveling hero. In a nice twist of fate, Scott and Jean now have the chance to be parents to young Nathan, getting back some of the time they missed with their son. The story is inspired by the 1994 comic series The Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix, where Scott and Jean's minds were brought to the future to raise Nathan. Here, they're actually there in person. Clan Ascani is the main resistance against Apocalypse's rule in the world, so it makes sense that both groups of time-traveling X-Men are linked by a big storyline about Apocalypse. Expect the conflict with Apocalypse to be a big part of Season 2, along with other important stuff happening. In Episode 10, we find out what happened to many of the X-Men stuck on Asteroid M, but not all of them. Wolverine, Storm, and Morph are still missing, and we don't know where or when they are. We can assume these three didn't die on Asteroid M, especially since Wolverine and Storm are too popular to write off like that. They were probably saved by time travel, but we don't know when they ended up. Wherever Wolverine is, he'll have to deal with the trauma of losing his adamantium. This is a big deal because even his healing factor is struggling to cope with it. Like in the comics, he might discover he has bone claws underneath. If Season 2 follows the comics, Wolverine might take a break from the X-Men to recover and face off against villains like Lady Deathstrike and Cyber. The last episode also hints at Apocalypse's plans to resurrect Gambit as one of his followers, called the Horseman of Death. This could lead to even more trouble for the X-Men. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.
X-Men.